So the next method is the Mammal ink footprint tunnel, which has a very catchy name. It's one of the easiest ways of surveying small mammals in your area. You generally can't catch mammals yourself without a license, so the next best thing is catching their footprints, which is what we're going to be doing. Essentially, you have a tunnel. We are using ready-made, commercially available tunnels, but you can make these tunnels out of cardboard. The tunnel is generally triangular in shape, just to help rainwater run off. Inside the tunnel, you have a sliding section of card, generally. In the middle, you place a bit of bait, generally in a small glass bowl, so it's easy to clear up. We like to use peanut butter. It's usually very popular with the small mammals, especially the rodents. You can also use wet dog food. But one thing to remember if you're using wet dog food, though, is do not let it stay out for too long, especially on a warm day, because then you might get mammals, but you're also going to get flies. So just be a bit careful with that. It is also possible to get special hedgehog food if that is a particular mammal that you're trying to survey and determine whether they're around. So you've got your bait in the middle, so this is what's going to attract your mammals into the trap. And now, in order to record their footprints, you've got 2 ink pads on either side of a bait. The ink pads are very easy to make. You just put down quite a wide strip of masking tape on either side of your bait. The ink itself, again, you can buy commercially available ink specifically for these kinds of traps, and do make sure it's specifically mammal safe. The alternative is to make your ink yourself. It's quite a simple mixture. It's vegetable oil, just basic vegetable oil, and food grade charcoal powder with no extra additives. And you mix those together to get a sort of quite thick, viscous, but also still quite runny ink, which means it's going to stick to a mammal's paws, but it's not going to evaporate immediately when you put it outside. Once you've got your ink down, on either side you place 2 sheets of white paper. We like to use quite thick paper, quite high quality card. Just if it gets damp from dew or rain, it won't disintegrate immediately and it will retain the mammal prints. So once you've got your bait, your ink pads with your ink and your paper on the slide, you can put it all in the tunnel, and that's basically your trap set. Now you've got to decide where to put it. And generally, the best places are, if you're working on a large field, around the edges of a field or under shrubs or undergrowth, because that's where mammals are most likely to be moving across. They're quite unlikely to run through the middle of an open field. The other good thing to look out for is if there are any mammal corridors along. So this is essentially like a little corridor going through tall grasses or shrubs where plants have been squished down. You can kind of tell something might have been through there. So if you put your tunnel along that, hopefully that something will go into your tunnel. And it's also quite good practice to try and peg your tunnel down with little tent pegs, just so that if your mammal happens to be a dog or something of a similar size, it's not going to carry your tunnel away, and hopefully you'll actually be able to catch your small mammal prints as well.
Oh.
We've got a couple of prints here and here, and we've also got, we've got a print inside with peanut butter as well, and clear evidence of feasting. So judging by the size, these are quite likely to be potentially rat. I think they're a bit too big to be mouse and a bit too small for hedgehog. There might be voles around, but given what we've seen here in the past, we most likely discovered rats again, which is as expected, and it's pretty good because they're an important prey